Today, I have the great honor to introduce my dear friend and co-author, Lynn Robin. Welcome to the studio today.
Thank you, Wendy. I'm honored to be here with you today.
So what has it been like to be part of a collaboration book?
It has been like beyond exciting. I'm just so excited to meet everyone in person when our event is here next Saturday. It's just been, I am just over the top with joy, and it's been such a challenge to do the project and write. And
that's why we do it
and
together.
Be an author and share
Yes.
our stories. It's amazing.
Yes, it's so true. And I know from writing a book years ago that it was a hard journey to do on my own, which is why Patricia and I have come together with this project of doing collaboration books. And you wanted to jump right in right away. I know you've also authored other books. To share a little bit about Lynn's background, she is a end of life advisor for the inevitable. And we're going to talk more about that. Over a decade that she has done this heart-centered work in helping families find peace of mind, which is so important, especially off of everything that we just came off of for the last few years with COVID, and to bring awareness of the importance of pre-arranging for the future through cremation arrangements and really honoring people's wishes for what they want at the end of their lives. Before we dive into this, because I've known you for a lot of years as a friend and also as being one of your clients, but I'd like to peel back the curtain a little bit and share about your background to becoming you, the you are today. Can you give us some insight to who you were years ago?
Previous to becoming or getting involved with this work, I've had many jobs over my lifetime. And the last one was in telecommunications, and it was ending. It was like going into very technical times. And I said to the universe, I want to be in heart-centered work. And that's what God brought me this work. And it's been such a blessing to help families over the decade that I've been in it.
That's so beautiful to actually love what you do. And that is the premise of this series and of becoming you, to actually fall in love. It's interesting that you say that you've had a lot of jobs prior to this. Give us an idea, like how many jobs is that?
So I think I've had this discussion with you before. And I started out.
It blew my mind. That's why I'm asking you again.
I know. At a very young age, my dad instilled such a strong work ethic into all of my sisters and I. And I started around like 14 years old selling Tupperware. And I've just had many jobs. I mean, I actually listed them, and it was close to 50 over my life, right? You know, as of now.
I think you're inspiring somebody right now because, you know, it takes some time. Some people fall into it right away. Some people know right away that they want to be a doctor, they want to be a lawyer, they want to be a teacher. And other people have to find the path and go through different, experiments. I call them experiments in life to figure out what the right fit career is. So you've been in your current profession now for 12 years.
A little over 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fantastic, and can hear the passion in your voice. What would you say are the attributes that would have described you then? And then I am going to ask you about the attributes, the characteristics that would describe you now.
Wow. Back then, in all the work that I've done, I've just been like a go-getter, networker, building businesses and knocking on doors and building up accounts and, a lot of hustling, grassroots with my company. I started that from scratch, the telecommunications. And now it's just like I have very difficult conversations with families every day. And it's, you have to have empathy for every person. Every story is unique. and it could be very emotional at times, and you just have to have a heart to listen and direct them in the right way for the work that I'm doing now. It's very, very fragile, but I bring so much peace to my clients that's what makes me love it so much. Over the years, I've had to go in person to families in their homes, and I got so many hugs, so many hugs. And I make people laugh now because I get them virtually because I work remotely. But
well, I bet in your previous careers that you didn't always have it so rosy, that you may have been a hustler, but you may have encountered something that wasn't the right fit for you. So can you describe like what was the worst situation that you were in, and how were you feeling about that, and how do you work through that?
Well, there was one where I was it was a little ice cream shop, and I think we discussed this once before, where I was in a little ice cream shop, and there were girls that were like an initiation, and they were throwing whipped cream all over me, and that was awful. I had to get out of there right away. I was just for extra money at the time. But beyond that, I was even an EKG technician because I thought I wanted to go into nursing. And so I did that for a while to see how I felt, and they made me learn phlebotomy, the blood work, and I was like, oh my God, this is totally not me. I had to train and do all that. And so I was like, no, I can't stand this. I don't want the stress. I don't think I can do this. And then I went into massage therapy and got licensed with that and brought my own life peace and then, peace and healing to all my clients through that work for many, many years. And I developed my own clientele with that.
So you tried a lot of different things.
I've tried so many things.
Until it was the right fit. So you had that like really short experience at the ice cream store. And then also getting more training, getting certified, trying different things out until you land into what you do today. So let's talk about becoming you as self-image, identity, and reinvention. So you reinvented yourself a lot of different times. So what are some of the passions that have grown out of that personally? Do you have the hobbies? Like what do you love to do?
Growing up, I did a lot of training in modeling and going on auditions and commercials, and that built up my confidence so much. Everything we do when we're growing up, helps us to become who we are today. And that gave me great confidence to go in front of customers and attain their business in person. And I ended up booking a lot of work in that career, but it was like hit or miss. So, to make money, I said, I better get serious and get a real solid job here. But I had the most fun doing that.
Okay, so that was your most fun.
Yeah, that was my most fun.
I love that you tied in the confidence piece. As we develop in our lives and in our career, that confidence piece is so important. And you had this different career path that built up your confidence level. Are you working on anything? What do you see going forward?
With my career now?
Or just even with your life, your personality,
right
like who you are becoming, like what this phase of life has been for you?
So I love to sing, and my favorite passion is singing. It brings so much joy to my heart. And I love to sing to folks that just want more songs, because they love my tone of voice or whatever. And I just love that. And I'm working on my voice all the time. I'm out there doing karaoke shows and like regularly on a weekly basis. And I'm already singing in restaurants, and it feels amazing. I'm like so on top of, I'm so high on life. I'm high on life right now.
Yeah, I can hear it. And I think our listeners can hear it as well, that you try out different things, that you bring elements that bring you joy into your life. And you started with karaoke. So you didn't start at a restaurant. You didn't start as a professional singer. You started just following your passion. Now let's go back to writing. So you just contributed a chapter in our book, Becoming You. Now you've also written another book prior to that. So can you share a little bit about that journey of writing?
During the pandemic, I felt compelled to write, it's called You're Good to Go. And I wrote all my true stories, all my heartfelt true stories over the decade that I've been with my work. There's lighthearted jokes. I wrote this.
That's a lot. So take that in. You're having a really serious conversation, but you bring in lightness, lightheartedness into the discussion, because that's something that a lot of people, they just sweep under the rug. And you're willing to put a hard conversation, put it out there in a lighthearted, but mission-driven way.
Yeah, it's such a lighthearted. I mean, you have to be lighthearted because this is something we all have to face eventually. It's a reality, and there's always jokes going around the table. So many jokes. I mean, I could tell you one that's so funny right now.
Oh, please do. Come on.
Every time
you're just going to bait us with that. Please tell us.
When they answer the phone, they said, "Hey, I'm not dead yet." It's usually a man that says that. I'm like, oh, they're already starting and they have that lightheartedness. It's good. There's a lot of jokes. And then people, when they sign up afterwards, they say, "Hey, I'm on a payment plan with you, but what if I passed away during the payment plan? What happens?" And I'm like, well, I'm going to ask your mom or dad or your loved one, did Joni want her top or bottom half cremated first? She only paid half the bill. So there's so many jokes. I do have so many jokes in my book, I created it to be a source of learning for people. And, if they can learn one thing out of the book, and also, it's a pre-planning book guide for them so they can really pre-plan and follow the steps that I have in the book. So that's what got me started. And then when you offered to be a part of your book, I was like, oh my God, I was just, I felt it in my heart that I wanted to be involved at this time and share my expertise of what I've been, doing and helping for all these years with people that really need this. It's a fragile matter, and, you have to, it gets pushed under the carpet way too often, but it's such an important task to take care of so that your loved ones don't have the emotional or financial burden at a very trying time.
I love that you stepped into it, that you stepped into your writing, that you were writing during COVID, and that you're providing a resource for people that gives really good, solid information, important to know information around pre-planning, which I know firsthand because my mom had just passed, and then we came to you for the cremation, and that was really important. Like at the end, you start checking the boxes because my mom had been sick for a while. So not a long time, but a year. So we kind of knew, and just by her age alone, like in her 80s, in her late 80s. But I think it's a really important conversation now, like for myself, someone in their 60s, someone in their 50s, you don't really want to burden anybody. And especially when you know what it's like and what the emotional journey is when someone passes, the last thing that you want to do is start figuring this out and having conversations with already strained family members. And so that was a question I knew I needed to ask my mom up front. So I so greatly appreciate so much what you're teaching, what you're leading with, what you're writing about. You're not only writing, but you're getting on stages and you're talking about this because this is a taboo conversation that people don't want to have. And we have an event. I always produce events around projects and all of the books, the combination of being able to build a platform so you can speak on a platform as a speaker and share a message and reach more people that perhaps wouldn't hear the message or wouldn't even think about it because they wouldn't make it up to the top of their to-do list because everybody is so busy being busy. They're not really thinking about the end of life until they absolutely have to. So thank you so much for jumping in, sharing your story. And together, the whole collaboration system is about reaching more people through a collective of audiences. And that carries over to your other projects, all your other projects, including your singing as well. So where can people find you? They're going to be able to find you through Becoming You, and the link is going to be in the show notes for our book. and also upcoming events. But where can people find you, Lynn Robin, knowing that you're local here in South Florida and travel a lot? So where can people find you?
They can find me on my website, yourgoodtogojournal.com, or on Instagram, it's linny.robin.
And LinkedIn and probably all the other social handles. And
yes, I'm on LinkedIn.
Google you and write to you and share. For those that are listening, if you've had an aha moment, if something that was shared here today resonates with you, we would love to hear from you. Share in the comment section. Thank you so much for answering your calling, Lynn. You're an amazing human being and leader, and soon to be best-selling author. Really appreciate you being here, taking time out of your full schedule to be here today. So any parting words for our listeners?
You know, I have a mantra, and thank you for all that, Wendy. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much. My mantra is, today is a gift. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Plan ahead while things are still calm. This is the key we have to all turn eventually.
Beautiful. Very wise words. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of our listeners for being here today. I invite you to subscribe to this podcast. Leave us a review. Share it with your friends and family. We'll see you on our next show. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.